Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is Super Long Adjective D, Modi, Matt, and Cecile, and we are reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen, the second to last episode. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to watch next season. Don't say My Hero Academia because I haven't caught up. God damn it.
That was long.
It should be My Hero Academia.
I need
All
to.
right. So, what did you guys think about this episode?
I thought it
was
was
a good improvement
shameful
over
that
last
you
week.
titled the last episode that you could not think of what to give the title. That's shameful of you.
At what point did you realize that I titled it that, Matt?
As soon as it came out,
And so
I decided now to
titles,
call
right?
you out on it, so everybody else knows how much of a fake you are.
No, you're gonna look faker because you had a problem with the title and you didn't suggest anything. So
I'm not doing this for change. I'm doing this to make you look bad.
You sat on that for a week.
Yeah.
You sat on that for a week.
Yes, I did. And the episode is pretty cool, I guess.
Do you want to talk about the Megumi section first?
I would say the most important section, the punchy section, which was...
Yeah! That was so
fight.
Good.
Second best
fight. That was
fight.
So good.
Wait,
Amazing.
Second best?
Second best?
I guess after... What's the best for you?
I would say the Todo and Itadori versus Hanami fight, mostly because that had a lot of really fun character moments to it. I feel like this fight is a close second because while it didn't have as much interesting character dynamics in play, it had easily the best animation.
I think something about that made this one of the couple best fights in this anime has to do with the impact. No, because the music is a repeat from the same episode in the Todo and Yuji versus Hanami. It's the same goddamn music. I recognize it.
Slaps.
But it still slaps. Yes, I agree. But best animation is because of the impact, and it makes me feel like I'm getting punched, and I enjoy that.
I know, right? It's like
I could feel the
You're
blast.
really a masochist, aren't you?
I like watching people get hit and blown up. It's awesome.
That's more
Have you
accurate.
seen Angel Beats? I know this is off topic, but have you seen Angel Beats?
Is that the shoujo manga?
You have to watch Angel Beats because that's perfect for people who hate themselves and want to be in pain.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say that, but all right.
Forget his name already.
What?
Yeah, I thought that fight was pretty good too. I don't know. I feel I can't think of something that's second best right now, but I feel like if I put in effort, I could probably come up with at least 2 fights that are better than this. But it was good. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the action.
Now, my biggest issue with the fights actually comes down to the character designs of the special grade that appeared. So, overall, I was a pretty big fan of the design. I wasn't a big fan of the circular eyes. I feel like if they remained close most of the time and they only really opened as shit gets real kind of moment, it would have looked a lot better. And the other thing that always really drove me crazy was all of Cicuna'S fingers are red, and the fingers of the special grade were also red. And that would have been such a really good and subtle power management or power identifier where it was only has one of Cicuna'S fingers, then you only see one of its fingers being red, while all the other ones are white, instead of all their fingers being red as well. I think the red complements the design well, and I think its placement in the hands is really well placed. But I feel like it kind of missed out on a very interesting visual cue kind of thing.
It's all a part of Sukuna's previous body, right? I don't see the point in differentiating the colors unless you're talking about the cursed energy coming from the fingers. Because logically, my fingers are equally as powerful as my other fingers, speaking from my left hand to my right hand. I don't understand what's the point of having my pinky finger being stronger than my thumb.
No, because it shows how many fingers you'd be able to instantly find out how many fingers that Cursed Beard would have, and then you would be like, okay, so only its pinky is red, so that means it has one finger. or like if all 10 of its fingers were all red, you knew that was like like that cursed spirit had half of Sukuna's power kind of thing. Kind of like how Naruto had his tails in Naruto.
And that reminds me, by the way, D, congratulations. You almost had
Boom.
I would give you like a 70% on that prediction, because although you had said that there was going to be a comparison to that cursed spirit that they fought way earlier on in like the first arc of the show. And he did show up again, or like a different version of him. So yeah, nice call on that.
Boom.
I also want to say congrats to how wrong you were, Modi, about last week. Well, actually, kind of all of you guys, because you all said that what Megami did last time was completely against his character. In this, they like outline that it was completely in his character for him to send the other two off.
Okay, so two things on that. One, you're gonna have to explain how it was, and two, I don't know how, if something gets revealed the week after, it invalidates what I thought with the information I had the week before.
No, my point was you didn't know anything about his character, and then this showed us his character. It confirmed it. So you're wrong.
So I learned more about his character. I'm actually confused. I don't get what you're saying.
No, I'm saying you made assumptions last week. I told you that you did, and then you were like wrong about them anyways. So
what assumptions did I make?
That his character would act not that way when we didn't know anything about his character.
Yeah, I was making that assumption based on what we had seen up to that point.
The episodes, we can't even remember our own episodes.
I mean, not. Okay, I actually do remember, but I'm just trying to see where Matt is going with this.
No,
because
okay, it's
like
totally
I said, up until that point, based on what I knew about his character,
which was nothing.
Yeah,
like, we barely knew anything about him until this episode.
Wait, okay, if now your assertion is that I didn't know anything about his character last time, why is it that you were defending
you were faulting
his actions?
The show. You were faulting
because you
the
didn't.
Show
you knew just as you knew just as little. Yeah, and at that moment with the information I had, I was justified to, right?
No, because we never seen him act like that way.
Because okay, so then
he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong.
So how?
Yeah, he doesn't want to say
that.
No.
Yeah, well, how about this episode? No, we're moving on.
Following that logic, then, Matt, right?
Oh my god.
Does that mean that you cannot make any judgments about a series until you finish it completely?
No,
because by that logic, that's and then by following that logic, next episode could just completely reverse what happened this episode, and what I said last week could end up being right, and what you're saying this week could end up being wrong again. So what's the logical correlation?
No, my argument was that from what we knew like last week, it was perfectly like reasonable for him to do that, like within the bounds of what we knew about the character.
So that's not what you said earlier. You're changing what you said earlier then.
No.
Aren't you? Yeah, you are. Because I was saying based on what I knew,
listen, I just
what I was saying was right,
week.
And based on what you knew, what you were saying was right. Now you come in and you're saying that, oh, look, you were proven wrong based on what happened this episode. And now just like 5 seconds ago, you're like, oh no, wait, but based on what happened last episode, you should have known this. So like, which one is it?
This is coming from the master.
You put a stop to them.
Just
okay, I'll stop.
Okay.
No. Let Matt explain himself. He clearly has a point.
I'm gonna move on.
Let's talk about about my favorite quote from our favorite boy Gojo Sensei. Dying to win and risking death to win are different. Opinions.
I love how much of an emo Megumi is. Like, he just like is so laid back about suicide bombing himself. Because think about it.
Yeah.
All of the fight, like literally his like this and like 2 of his previous fights. In fact, like I think almost all of his fights, he was like 2 seconds away from just like self-destructing himself.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
But okay, so about that, I was going to ask about that too. Can you guys explain to me what he really meant by that, because I actually didn't really get what he was trying to get at when he said,
he
the thing
tried
about
harder.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Megumi just needed to try harder. That's about it.
Okay, I think you're simplifying too much for Modi. He needs to like have an actual proper explanation. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Megumi learned he lived in a society.
I think Cecil should do it.
Oh my. So essentially, I don't know which one's which, to be honest, because the way they phrased this also, I don't think true to the proper meaning of like what they said in Japanese.
Thank you,
But
Gege Sensei.
But like, how do I describe it? Dying with the intention to win, which is what Yuji is doing, is completely different from what Fushiguro is always planning in like the back of his mind before he enters a battle of like, I'm willing to die for you to win, for us to win, right?
Yes.
What more can I explain?
I thought Gojo was saying that what Megumi does is he dies to win, and what Gojo and Yuji do are risk death to win. I thought that's what he was saying, and I'm confused.
Honestly,
I don't really get
I don't
what
know
he's
either.
actually trying to get at when he said that.
Basically, stating that Megumi sees himself as like a sacrificial pawn where Yuji and Gojo will risk their lives to win, but they still they risk their lives, but they know that they will win. Megumi's like, yeah. I'll kill myself so I can win. So it's like, I will.
Again, it's the issue with the phrasing. The English translation is not. It's not.
I get it now.
It's like in the baseball game when he hit the ball when he bunted it instead of actually hitting it. He was doing it to help others and to sacrifice himself. When really he could have been done like Yuji did and would try to hit like a home run instead.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, how do you guys think this relates to the domain expansion that he did? Because I still don't see
that was lit.
Maybe we don't have enough info, but like I don't see why that new reasoning that he got from Gojo made him decide, okay, like why wouldn't he have decided to try a domain expansion before? Like what's the difference? What's the connection between that new reasoning and him deciding to do the domain expansion? If you get what I mean.
Because he hadn't decided to try harder.
Okay, and also that reminds me. So when Gojo was talking to him, right, and he was telling him, you probably are like this because you have that that trump card move or whatever that if you use it you'll win but you'll die. I'm guessing that's not the domain expansion, right?
No.
So then why would Megumi ever consider, if what Gojo is assuming about Megumi is true, why would Megumi ever consider going to that extreme of using that move that will kill him if he uses it before he does a domain expansion? Like why would that?
I'm guessing he has two options. He can use his super secret move and get a guaranteed win but by killing himself, or he could take a chance on using the domain expansion of using the domain expansion, which is a move that isn't guaranteed to kill him but also not guaranteed to kill the enemy he's fighting. So by using the domain expansion, it leaves the possibility open for him dying and his opponent winning.
But I thought domain expansions were if you achieve one, it's like a sure thing. Like you're definitely gonna.
It's a definite. See, and that's the thing. I'm not a big fan of how domain expansions work in this universe, because originally I believe they explained it as it's a one hit, it's a guaranteed hit. That's why Hanami was about to use their domain expansion right when they were getting ready to pull out a solar beam. But with this, it feels more like a Bankai kind of thing where it isn't it isn't like a single instant hit. It's more like a new set of moves. And I feel like that's what the domain expansion should have been. That should have been their Bankai or Super Saiyan form, and it should have just been a elevated state of being at the cost of like a large amount of stamina. And then you could have like the instant hit characters, like you would like say for example if Megumi's domain expansion gave him the ability to summon a huge pool of shadows that he could freely control, or you could do like Jogo's domain expansion is he takes you to a heated volcano area. You could have had like characters like what's his name, Mahito, make his specific domain ability that he's always touching you, which means it's an instant kill for him, not for everyone else though. And that way it kind of makes it opens up the door for possibilities of like, oh wow, what's their domain expansion going to be like? Oh wow, how's that going to work? What's their domain ability? Where instead now it's just like a one shot. It's like a undodgeable attack, which isn't as interesting as it.
Is it undodgeable?
I think the way it's been explained, I could be wrong, but I think the way it's been explained is that the only way a domain expansion would fail is if the person you're fighting also has one and it overpowers yours, like when Gojo overpowered Jogo's domain expansion, right?
No. With the domain expansions, didn't they explain it as like complete versus incomplete? Because Mahito and Fushiguro's ones were incomplete, right? That's what they say it was. It didn't have its like full potential or something like that. I think that's what defines it as a one kill or not a one kill.
Okay. And it's obvious too, that's also another point we can get into, which is that it's obvious that Megumi's just doing it for the first time and his domain expansion is incomplete. What do you guys think the complete version of his domain expansion might end up looking like?
Blank black void filled with shadow demons.
Yeah,
and I hope that Fushiguro is able to like manipulate his body inside the domain where he's able to like freely travel and like shadow.
Didn't he already do that? And also even the blank
like,
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. What?
Even the thing you said, D, about the blank void with shadow demons. I mean, we kind of already saw that. So like, I'm trying to think if there's like a I guess what I'm getting at is that I hope when we do see like the final form of his domain expansion, it's not something. It's not like the same thing just looking better, because this one just looked shoddy, but he was still able to do some cool things. I hope there's actually more that he can do.
With his domain expansion, what we saw was like a black flood like going across the floor, right? Nothing in the ceiling. You could still see the like rocky above, right? I think that his domain expansion is not going to be like anything black or anything like that, but I really hope that it goes into like some kind of shrine look-alike, like a classic Japanese shrine where you like ring the bell, you clap your hands, you make your prayer for New Year's, right? Like that kind of shrine. And there's just like fox or wolves, because that's his Shinigami. I don't know. Shinigami. And it's like the statues, right? Like you've seen those like wolf or like fox statues. I want that in his like domain expansion, and it's just a shrine.
Here's what I hope is Inumaki's domain expansion is he's just able to freely talk, and then he just drops a diss track on the enemy.
Ooh, that would be nasty. Actually, that would be nasty. I would love that. You see, right now, Inumaki is like my top 3. He would be top 1 if that ever happened.
Totally. I want to see Toto's domain expansion so badly.
Oh my god!
I want to see Yuji's.
No. If you could do like a domain expansion with like 2 people and they have equal power and they're able to like enhance one another's domain expansion, I want Inumaki and the Guitar Grandpa, because that's a fucking rock concert.
No. Oh wait, like
I want the Guitar Grandpa to die
would be
ASAP.
Cool. Like where both ones have like equal amount of power. You're able to like, I don't know, how would that look like? Would it just be like a match between the 2 of them or what?
It was sort of like a fusion kind of thing.
Huh?
But going back to what you were saying, Cecile, I want to add my thoughts on what I want it to be, on what I want Megumi's domain expansion to be. I want it to be like a dark forest, because I feel like that would fit, the theme of him using like animals. So it's like a dark forest where like there's all sorts of animals lurking in the shadows, and he can come out of the ground and come out of the, bark of the trees and stuff like that. I think that would
That is a potential. That is a potential. I'm not saying that it's not a potential, but I do think it would be cooler if he could use statues, because that's more into like the god or like spirit realm or something like that compared to a forest.
And also something I just realized is, by virtue of the fact that you're even theorizing on this, it means that the manga hasn't shown his domain expansion yet.
Yep.
And I'm actually kind of surprised, because that means there's a pretty big gap between when we first see his domain expansion and I guess when we see his full one. So because for me, I've been building up the Shibuya arc in my mind so much that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a major arc, but I guess like maybe it's not gonna be that.
Never build hype based on what the anime community says. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not against the anime community, but I am a jaded, cold-hearted human being, and after like Demon Slayer, I can't take a single thing the community says seriously anymore.
I completely agree with you. But even aside from what, the hype that people give the Shibuya arc, when I first saw him do his domain expansion in this episode, I was like, oh, like this arc is kind of meant to just like be like, give us a taste, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the next arc, he's gonna like, between this arc and next arc, he's gonna train and he's gonna like hone it, and then we're gonna see him really go hard with it in the next arc. But I guess that's not the case.
Also, I love how he can apparently summon clones of his Shinigami, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something that made me more excited was seeing Sukuna proud face. He's like a dad to Megami at this point. I thought it was funny.
It's like, why couldn't Megami eat me instead?
I feel like 50% of the budget of this anime went to the fights, and then like another 40% went to just drawing Gojo's eyes. Because whenever they do it, it's like you're literally looking into like the universe.
Oh my god.
It's so crazy.
Literally the translation of Ocean Eyes. I love this man. Oh my god.
It's like staring into God's butthole. Oh my god.
How do you feel about
them, I would imagine it.
Like using the same special grade curse and then like wiping that special grade's curse out like pretty easily? Well, not easily, but I find it
interesting.
Which one? Which curse are you talking about?
The white albino looking thingy.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So on one end, I like it because it's a really easy and effective way of showing like how far the characters have come. But on the other side, I really like this design, and it feels... So, what I'm hoping they do is, if you ever watched a show called D. Gray Man, they have, like, their base type enemies. They have, like, different classes of enemies, and some of the classes all share one singular design, but the next form, they sort of evolve into a more, like, unique, over-the-top kind of aesthetic, and I'm hoping that's what it is here, where like you have like the base level special grades, which are these like albino things, and then once they get strong enough to like consume a second finger, they become more like unique and more over the top kind of. But if they're just like a generic enemy, I feel like it's going to be a little disappointing.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case.
One thing I didn't completely understand is whether or not that cursed spirit, the white one, is he just like a reincarnation of the one that Sukuna killed all those episodes back, or is he just a completely different one that looks the same and is stronger?
Man, you sound so racist right now.
I think it's the second one the second thing you said.
Yeah, okay. They're just like
that is
versions
lame,
of the. It's multiple versions of the same. There are multiple cursed spirits that look the same, kind of.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it's lame. I just didn't expect it. I guess, like, yeah, I'm just surprised by it, because that's, like, I just assumed, based on how the series gone, that, like, all of the cursed spirits are just, like, individualized, and there's no two of, like, the same one. But have they said what cursed, like, what that cursed spirit, like, feeds off of? Because like they all feed on something.
Evil.
Is there like a relationship between how they look? Like, because I'm guessing if this one looks the same as that other one, do they feed off the same thing?
Maybe they feed off the finger itself. The power
I think...
You're going.
Okay. No, I was gonna say, like, I think only very specific cursed spirits, have their own like quirk or gimmick. So like Jogo, Hanami, Mahito, they're all based off of like an individualized fear or phobia. But I think that's only them. All the rest of the cursed spirits are just like, we eat people, blah, 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 blah.
Got you.
I'm just,
even the special grade ones.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're not gonna have anything below a special grade anymore after this. At least I don't think so. Because like, how can
we better not?
Well, you'd expect there to be like more like build up. Like if the special grade's like supposed to be the top cursed spirits, it's like I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of wish they had like maybe a little bit more. Well, if
this was a long series,
or like. I mean, if it's shorter, I guess it's fine. But
yeah, if it's a long series like Naruto, then yes, there would be like entire seasons of just this like similar level, like low grade cursed spirits. But because this isn't,
say that. Like,
of course, there's gonna be like a balance. But I'm just saying it's gonna be more of them than compared to what we have this season.
I think the main operating factor here is just intelligence. It's just the fact that special grades cursed spirits are the only ones that are intelligent. Anything below that would make for a very boring series if you're fighting unintelligent things. So
that too,
I think that's why. And Naruto definitely didn't do that, you know.
And speaking of cursed spirits, what do you guys understand what's like happening with the brothers? Like not the brothers, the cursed spirit brothers ones.
I am assuming that they were both humans, like Yuji, who ate cursed objects, but unlike Yuji, they didn't have main character powers, so they just turned into monsters.
Wait, no, weren't they created by Mahito and them?
Yeah, they were fed those little things.
Yeah.
also, Nabaru gets dragged into dimensions a lot.
Bro, okay, I'm glad you brought that up because that was my absolute favorite moment of the whole episode when she's like getting dragged in, and she's just like, "I'll be fine. You just whack the mole," and she points like,
She like points.
That was so hard.
Second best girl.
I think she's best. Who's better than her? I don't think there's anyone.
Wait, who did we say was better than her? Wait, who did you say was better than her?
I'm simping for Miwa, but you know what? Gotta give it to Nobara.
Yeah, no, Nobara.
Yeah. We've all been talking about all of the stuff about the cursed spirits, the fight scenes, the characters, the action, the fight scenes, but no one's ever said anything about one big thing. Yuji has one killer gag reflex. Because think about it, this guy is just swallowing a freaking human finger whole.
Well, we know what you're thinking about.
If you could see my face right now, I would explain a lot of things right now.
We know what you're thinking about.
She's got 6 digits in her mind right now. Like, she is...
She's heading to DeviantArt.
Okay,
no.
So what I thought you were going to mention was... I thought the segment with Megami's sister dragged on for too long. I just like I got to a point where I was like,
you did?
I thought it dragged on too long. Yeah, I thought it was good, but
it
then went too much, and I feel like it was in the wrong place too.
I feel like it should have been at the beginning of the episode. And I feel that they could have probably gotten rid of the whole "I hate good people, I hate evil people" kind of thing.
Oh, can we talk about that? Okay,
he's so fucking edgy. He's too edgy now. Like,
I love it though.
What are you talking about? I agree with him.
He was already edgy, but
fuck good people. They think they have morals. They're shit.
This is so interesting because I'm gonna like circle around and agree with Matt, but for completely different reasons. So, at the beginning, when they were... Okay, first of all, I do think it was... That stuff was... I don't think it was too long. I do think it was put in the wrong position. It should have been 1 or 2 episodes ago. Mm-hmm. But when... Okay, so when they, like, were explaining his whole philosophy about, like, you know... They actually did go back and explain why he was beating up those delinquents, right? And I was like, oh, I actually like Megumi a lot more now after seeing his backstory. Right? Like... His philosophy of hating both bad and good people, and he has good reasoning for hating good people, I think, like, you know. And I was like, oh, this is a cool character. But then all of that was ruined when, like, you know, during the episode, he's like, no, I was wrong. You were right, One-chan, right? And then he's like, you know, and now he's good. And I'm just like, oh, okay, never mind. That sucks. That's trash. Like, it was like for like 5 minutes, I was like, yes, okay, Megumi is like great. And then it just totally got ruined. I hate that.
You know,
the thing is, with change in like morals and beliefs, especially during like the ages where he's at right now, it's supposed to better yourself, right? And it's for a reason, because your previous morals was not.
But I think his previous morals were. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the issue.
His
change is
morals
supposed to be
good.
for the better, but his previous values had was nothing wrong.
Okay, so you agree with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The change was kind of stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, you were right in middle school. Like, don't listen to all this outside noise. You know, like, you're fine.
So
we're pretty immoral pieces of shit.
All right. I agree with punching people, as you all know. But I kind of wish the pacing would have been... This arc opened up with, like, his belief on how people are just garbage. And then this episode should have opened up with the backstory of his sister. And then the fight should have ended with him, like, having his realization that people aren't that bad. That way we get to spread out his character development, and we don't have to like shotgun it at the very last minute.
That way also his like backstory itself has like structure. But also I wish when I have like 20 assignments due the next day, I wish I could just have a childhood flashback and just go ultra mode.
I know, right?
All my stuff, like.
In fact, he had 2 flashbacks. He had the Gojo flashback.
Yeah, that's why he was
sister.
able to beat its ass, because he just had so many flashbacks. You know,
the level of power up you get is determined by the amount of flashbacks you can muster.
Like
up,
childhood trauma. You know?
See, that's why I hate, because flashback D is dumber than regular D. So it'd be like a debuff.
Oh my god.
I just when I have flashbacks, all I remember is that one time I farted too loud in middle school. Like
that's essential.
That could work. You never know.
That's called character development.
They could
Watch
do it,
Yuji
yeah.
have some sort of flashback like that. Like, that wouldn't surprise me.
He wet his bed or something. And
I love how like flashbacks are just such a buff in this like universe. Like think about it.
Every universe.
Toto has the best flashbacks, and he's one of the strongest like students so far.
True. Honestly, I would like to believe that flashbacks is a power in this series, and not just because of Toto. But I can't get into it right now because it's not in this episode; it's in the next episode or next 2 episodes.
Oh, okay. That reminds me of, this is probably the last thing I want to say or talk about, which is it feels like based on where we are right now and knowing that next episode is the last episode, it feels like the ending to the season is going to feel abrupt. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. It's gonna suck.
I at least hope, if it's gonna do an abrupt ending, I at least hope it's a cliffhanger, because then I feel like it's more justifiable.
No, the pain of cliffhangers.
I mean, because I don't care. I'm gonna jump right into the manga, so it doesn't matter to me.
You're still gonna be feeling like
but I feel like if you're gonna have like an ending to a season that's not like, that doesn't tie up not tie up, but like that doesn't have like a smooth, feel good ending like the baseball would have been. Then if you're going to do an abrupt one, then I feel like you should at least go hard at that and make it a cliffhanger,
then can I say something about the abrupt ending? Okay, because I think that they should have ended at this episode now, and the perfect moment is when I still love this part. I'm insecure about my back. If you see my back, I'll kill Kusaki and Oni-chan.
That was the funniest part of the episode.
And then they should have put like the arrow like to be continued.
Cecile, you don't get it.
We'll be right back,
really
folks.
Made 2 JoJo's references on top of each other.
That's so powerful though that she did that, because like she hasn't even seen JoJo. Imagine once she actually watches the series, like it's gonna be unreal the amount of JoJo references she makes.
Yes, because like the whole like I don't like people seeing my back is a literal JoJo's plot line. Which is weird because he does feel like a JoJo's character in some senses.
You know, okay.
He
The more I
does.
think about it, I'm sure it's a callback to JoJo. Like it has to be.
It
You know,
is.
it has to.
It
be.
has to.
Yeah, it is.
Did you catch the reference in like the first couple episodes where there's like an Oikawa cutout in like one of the like up the stairs or something? I don't know. But I caught it and I was like, Haikyuu?
See,
Haikyuu?
I don't know if it's just because it just makes me like again, monkey brain, but when like authors make references to stuff I like, I just get all like squealy and fangirly inside. It's like, he watched Naruto too! He watched Dragon Ball Z! He's just like me! I can be him one day!
If
We're
that's
reading the
true,
same
then,
stuff!
if that's true, then Gintama will be your favorite series of all time if you ever watch it. Like I
I
guarantee
saw
you that.
I saw a clip of Gintama and I really want to watch it now.
It's really good.
It's so funny.
It's like
Me too.
one of the few series I give a 10 out of 10. It's awesome. Everyone should
We're not
watch
rating
Gintama.
that show though. Come on.
I was about to go on a Star Wars rant, but I'm not going to. So this is definitely
This is
not
Okay.
the
about
place for it.
anime, sir. Get that
Right,
American
yeah.
crap out of here.
But yeah, the musty back thing was just hilarious. I died. Like it wasn't even the part when like they actually saw his back. Just the fact that he called his own back musty. I just
The feels,
that
the
was
feels,
so funny.
the
That was so
relates.
funny.
How come Yuji's voice actor is like the perfect like cutoff for whenever like he needs to interrupt anything? It's just his tone of voice is just like angel sent.
I swear to God, it's so like this is like definitely one of those really big examples of just perfect casting because you don't get any of that in the dub version. Like again, I don't want to make this a whole sub versus dub. Dubs are so much better. No subs are so much better. You heathen.
To be fair,
blah,
I
blah,
never hear.
blah.
To be fair, I never hear anyone screaming that dubs are better. So you know.
Oh, you don't. Oh my God, I have met them. God, I want to punch him in the face so badly.
Okay.
You're
How about
talking
this?
to
Some
one.
cannot watch the subs.
I'll say
Some
this.
people I know.
I'll say
Frick
this.
you.
There are way more people who only watch sub than there are people who only watch dub.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything else they want to say before we talk about this magnificent post-credit scene?
We should just
Oh
jump
my
right
God,
to
the post
credits,
credit
'cause
scene. Ah,
There's nothing else we should
there's
talk
too
about.
much to say.
Too
I
much.
Too
loved it
much.
so
There's too
much.
much to talk about in the end credit.
It's
Oh my
perfect.
God.
Oh,
All
wait,
right, so
why do all women like Mega? This also ties into an earlier scene, or like just in the series in general. It's just like all women just absolutely like fawn over Megami.
I mean, clearly Yuji fawns over Megumi too.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
let's just
Gojo.
talk about this for a second. Not only were they all insanely passionate about this, but that was Formation B, which means
Yeah.
Formation
Yeah,
A.
Stay prepared.
And possibly a C. Oh my God, that's actually so true. Imagine sitting them like Gojo calls Yuji and Nobara into his office and he's like, "Okay, guys, we need to make a plan for if Megumi gets some attention from the ladies, right?"
This
They're
guy
like,
cannot
"Okay,
get laid.
we're gonna make this plan where you guys tackle him and you mark your territory and I'm gonna unbutton my shirt, put down my glasses, and I'm gonna walk in acting like I'm a violin teacher. All right, let's go."
That's the best part. Okay, that's the best part. Oh my God. Okay, actually, no. When Gojo came in with the like button shirt and stuff like that, I was expecting him to speak like British English or something like that.
English.
And like I expected this perfect
Oh.
accent too. Like I don't know how to give it. I don't know the accent, but oh my God,
The dub-
I was anticipating English.
The dub should definitely do that. Like that's a missed
Oh my
opportunity
God.
if they don't.
Oh my
Dude, I hate the
God.
fact that he said it was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little
Twinkle,
Star. Teach him that freaking melody.
I knew what they were
Oh
doing.
wait, doesn't that mean that like Megumi is like shit at violin?
Probably.
Probably.
You know what?
Or-
Deduct 10
or-
points from him. He's
I
not
I
he's
swear
not
they said
dateable.
twinkle because of the twink part. I swear.
No, I don't think so.
What does that mean?
Oh, twink.
Twinks?
Twink is like a skinny, like
Pale boy.
gay boy.
Oh, Wait, like you? I'm just kidding.
Like a malnourished you?
Yeah, a malnourished boy with bags in his eyes.
Shut up.
I'm trying my best, okay?
I'm gonna get Megami to beat you guys up. Delinquents.
Same.
All right, so yeah, post-credit scene was beautiful. They lied when they said they ran out of ideas for two episodes. I think my entire opinion about this series is going to completely ride on the post-credit scene for next episode.
Yes.
If they don't have a good post-credit scene next episode, if it's not a 10 out of 10, then I'm giving this series a 0 out of 10. Okay, I'm saying it now. All right.
Can I just say
this?
Oh wait, no, you go first, Steve.
This, if like, since I know that these like post-credit scenes are mostly like anime only, I really want filler for Jujutsu Kaisen. Just like a bunch of these little like small little small little episodes dedicated to all this like wonky, quirky slice of life kind of stuff, because it looks like it would be so much fun. What?
Isn't that an omake?
I think so.
Oh my god, that should exist.
Here's I think that this show is better with these end credit scenes because it adds a lot of characterization to the characters that isn't always present in the show, and I genuinely think it makes the show better. Like not even just like a little wink jokey thing. It's like it actually adds more likability to the characters that isn't always like as strong in the actual show. Like I went through a bunch of them last time because I missed them, and like I like a lot of the characters a lot better now that I actually like watched those ending.
Totally,
end
and
credits.
they do it so fast too. They're like 30 seconds long, and they just endear you to them so fast.
Yeah,
they
they're
should
so
honestly
good at
like offer Studio Mappa should like offer like courses on writing or like characterizing in 10 seconds. Like that would be interesting. I would take that. I would think for that.
Wait, can I say something about the end credit really quickly? I think I know what the next one's gonna be.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I think it has something to do with something that occurred in the manga, and it has something to do with what happened in this episode of Mononoke too. Because if I
this is so specific, Cecile.
no, it's because I looked this up because I had like a vague memory of like this thing happening in a chapter, which was like a 0.5 kind of chapter, and I was just like, is this gonna be an end credits soon? Because it happened in chapter 64, and I'm trying to recall what chapter this season is gonna end on, and it says that the final episode this season is gonna end like at chapter 100. So I'm like thinking, is it gonna have to be doing with?
And I don't even think we're gonna get to chapter 64.
What chapter are we on?
I don't know, but last week was 2 chapters, and that was up to 56. So this week, next week would have to do like at least 6, like 4, 5, 6 chapters to get to 64. I think that's really doubtful.
Unless they skip a whole arc.
It's just an omake. It doesn't really have to do. They don't have to push it off to season 2. I want to see this so much. I want to see the end credit because it's really cute and it has something to do with Yuji.
Maybe they'll put it in at the end.
If it does, then I will tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you next week if it is what I'm thinking about. Can I give a hint?
She's gonna forget.
Yeah.
Can I give a hint?
Let's bet money on that. She's gonna forget.
I'll say 2 words.
Yeah.
I'll say 2 words.
Okay.
Potential girlfriend?
Oh.
Ooh, spicy.
Oh.
So that way the audience can tell me if I'm wrong or not next episode too, because I think the commenters are manga readers as well.
Wait,
so
no,
they probably know
don't-
what I'm talking about.
Don't tell us if she's wrong. I don't want to know any more than
Yeah,
that.
don't tell me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. It's just let me know that like you know what I'm thinking about, and then
Okay.
next week we could
Yeah.
confirm
You know what?
or not.
If like for this to be a 10 out of 10, I want this to be Formation A. Okay, like show us what Formation A looks like.
That
I would
be
like
good.
to believe that they've like planned formation A, B, C, and then skip to like Z, and that's it.
All right. Any final thoughts from anyone, and then we can do ratings.
No.
Cheese is not an ointment.
I think we're good.
Okay, ratings. I'll go first. I would give this episode a 7.5 7 or 7.5.
So this one's hard for me because I feel like this episode was close to being as good, was probably in the same tier as the last one. The reason why I liked about the last episode was it had really entertaining character interactions, but light on the action. Whereas this episode had some really good action, but was a little light on the character interaction side of things. So I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5.
Mm.
And actually, I'm gonna change mine to a 7. Yeah, go ahead, Cecile. I think you were gonna say something.
Okay. I think we're gonna go back to our routine of 10 out of 10, a crack energy out of 10.
Because Gojo was in it.
Infinity.
Because
no,
Gojo
not because of JoJo. Oh my god.
Because of Gojo.
It's not because of JoJo. It's
by the
because
way,
of the end
Do
credit,
the math.
okay?
It was Gojo.
By the way, sorry. I just want to say, last week when I was recording, and I literally didn't even notice. Not when I was recording. When I was editing the podcast last week, the part when Cecile gave her score, and we were just like, oh yeah, because of Gojo, and then she goes on to give a very well thought out, detailed explanation, and then we're all just like, yeah, Gojo.
It is. I mean, look at this week. Look at this week.
You got
I mean,
two
but
different
Oh my
Gojo
God.
outfits, okay?
But my point is that
God.
last week, Cecile, I'm sorry, she actually
Y'all
did have.
trashed on me.
Yeah, I did.
And I had a good reason.
You had a
for
very
this episode.
you had a very well thought out explanation.
Thank
and I was
you.
just like, nah, Gojo. We were just like, yeah, Gojo,
Oh my
Gojo.
God.
This week
You know
though, it's obviously Gojo though.
It's definitely.
And, okay, no, I'll explain. I'll do a quick explanation. It's because of Violin Gojo. Okay, that's the reason I gave it a 10.
See.
Okay, Turtle
got
Neck
different
Gojo
variations,
was way
yeah.
better than Violin Gojo, madam. No lie.
What Gojo's better?
Turtleneck Gojo
Turtleneck Gojo?
from the Megumi flashback.
That is a strong point you made.
But Cecile, what's higher than infinity? It doesn't even matter at this point, right?
No, 'cause infinity is infinity. Infinity
Infinity.
times infinity, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to get
All right.
close to infinity
Beyond.
faster.
Matt, your score?
7 out of 10. It's some pacing issues, I feel, and a few other problems here and there, but otherwise it's a pretty decent episode.
Yeah, I thought it was
We're going to
confusing in some ways.
We're gonna find one series that's just gonna make Matt fangirl himself so hard.
There are series I really enjoy. One Punch Man. I really enjoy Death Note. I don't think those are 10s out of 10s, but they get close to it. With some
We will
episodes.
find one that will become your 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of
it
Sword
gonna
Art
be One Piece?
Online?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You do
Sword
not
Art.
want me to watch Sword Art Online. I swear to God.
No,
I
you
kind of
really
do
should.
now.
You really should. You really should.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll
You
watch
will
anything.
hate it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, all right. So I think that's it. That's been our review of episode 23 of Jujutsu Kaisen. One more episode, and then it's all over, at least for now. So
Rip.
yeah, thank you for watching, and come back for
No.
our review of the final episode.
There are
Bye.
better
Thank you.
reviewers
Bye.
to watch. Don't watch